also have seen what Maya Care Foundation is doing is fantastic. So kudos to each one of you at Maya Care Foundation. I'm very, very happy to be connected to you. And I'm also looking at, future relationships with Maya Care as well. I'm working on that with my internal teams as well. So speaking about myself, let me just give a brief introduction about myself. I hail from a place called Coorg, which is in South India and Karnataka. I'm not born there, but I was born in Mangalore, but I've been raised in Coorg. I did my schooling from there, and also parts of here and there in Karnataka, a little bit here and there. So to give you a little story about myself, right? I'm the middle child in my family. I have an older brother, I have a younger sister. And, this concept of this big baby, right? That we have normal children, they say they're around 7 pounds, when they weigh them, and people are so happy about it that they call them healthy babies. Right. So yes, I was not a big baby. I think I was a double XL baby because I weighed 13 pounds. And because of which, my poor mom, rest her soul in peace, she found it very difficult during the birthing sessions. And then I was born, with only movement in my left hand. I did not have any movement in my right hand, because of which, they were very concerned and very worried, thinking that I'm going to be somebody who will never be able to use my right hand. All right. So, but I think I should say thanks to the doctor who was actually taking care of my mother. He gave a condition to everybody in my family saying that, 24/7, there has to be somebody who has to actually keep moving my hand up and down and sideways. So I think I was like a problematic child from birth, because I gave a very difficult time to my parents, my grandparents, uncles, aunts, whoever was actually there around me when I was a kid. They had to keep moving my hand 24/7. That actually helped me, one fine day after about 6 to 8 months, to actually help me move my hand by myself. So that was actually good, because till a couple of years ago, I was able to do, be a normal person with complete body movement. However, a couple of years ago, I was involved in a very bad car crash, because of which I completely lost my complete movement on my right side of my body. It was like I was paralyzed or something like that. All of this is because of whatever, I started getting coined into this phrase saying, oh, Sonia is disabled. All right. So that is something that is okay with me, because for me, when it comes to being, that terminology or that word that says disability is absolutely acceptable. All right. Because I think what we need to do, or what we also need to see, is that, people will call us as being disabled. But what they do not know is, by ourselves as individuals, we are not. Right. So because we live a normal life like anybody else, we talk like anybody else, we see like anybody else. Even though we cannot see, we do have braille, we have systems, that, are given to us because of technology, that, we can actually hear, right? And even if we cannot speak, we can actually see, right? So all of these things have actually, kind of made our lives very, very comfortable. But what we need to do is that we need to ensure that we take this, our experiences to the larger world, because not everybody on a day-to-day basis, they do not come across people who are like you and I. So they do not know how we live a life. They do not know what our capabilities are, right? So I worked with people, coming from different backgrounds. I'm not just, when I say different backgrounds, I'm talking about people who are speech and hearing impaired. I'm talking about people who are visually impaired. I'm talking about people who are, locomotor disability, other people with disabilities. And the fantastic thing that is, that happens with each one of us every time I meet these people, is that my heart just grows bigger. All right. And it gives me a sense of pride, because somebody like you is doing so many amazing things in today's world, right? So my note to everybody is to tell everyone, saying that, hey, you should be proud. All right. And that pride is what will also get you your respect. And people should respect everybody, each other, whether you are a normal human being or not. I've come this far in my career. It's been like about 25 years now since I started working. So I completed my graduation in 1997. My graduation is just basic Bachelor of Arts degree. And after I completed my graduation in 1997, my dad actually gave me a condition. He said, either you start working or you get married. And that was like, for me, was like getting married. I'm just like, completed college. And I was also a notorious kid, more on the tomboyish side. And getting married was not my cup of tea at all. So I said, okay, fine, let me study. But in the back of my head also, I was like, oh my God, I need to study again. I need to start working. Maybe that choice is a better choice for me than studying. So what I did is I started working. So my first job in 97 was that of a student counselor. I used to counsel people on career paths, what subjects they need to take up for their future studies. And I used to work with this organization called Aptech back home in my hometown. And since I was also, as per what my then boss said, is that I was also good with communication skills. So he's asked me to start training people on communication skills. So I took that up as a challenge, and that was my first ever training experience from Aptech, where I started training people on communication skills. So when I say communication skills, I'm talking about things like grammar, email writing, and I'm talking about personality development, and how to carry yourself when you face an interview. So because they were all students, right, who were coming into Aptech, so I started off with that as my career. And I worked with them for about a year. And then from there, I went to Dubai. I was working with Microsoft in Dubai. And I worked with them for close to 6.5 years, offshore, onshore. And I think, and I've always been in training. I've always been in training till the last 8 years ago, when somebody in one of my previous organizations actually noticed that I'm also good with quality. And also asked me to manage quality sessions as well. So yeah, so from Aptech, I moved to Dubai. I worked with Microsoft. I used to also work in between, before Microsoft, with the event management organization for a couple of months, wherein we did events for famous personalities at that time, like Enrique Iglesias, Whitney Houston, the Eagles. And it was good. It was a different experience, because it was also at that point of time, working with celebrities also gave me some form of experience on how to be social, on how to mingle with people who come from different backgrounds, because it's not just about talking to celebrities, right? We also need to talk to their core team, which is to do with audio, visuals, lights, all of that. So yes, so this was fantastic. And then unfortunately, I lost my dad. And I was in India at that point of time. And I never went abroad after that, because when I saw my mom's state of affairs after that, it became a very emotional thing for me. Okay. And then offline, my mom also had a chat with me, saying that, don't leave me and go anywhere. So I said, okay, fine. And I've been in India ever since I returned, and I've never stepped out anywhere. I've not even gone for a holiday, all right, abroad, just because, of what my mom actually told me. And once I came back to India, I started working in training itself. I worked with, at that point of time, it was called as Aditya Birla Minax. When I joined them, it was called as Transworks. So I joined them as a soft skills trainer and a process trainer. So when we talk about soft skills, we're talking about training people on communication skills, voice and accent. We're talking about training people on, culture sensitization based on which country that we are going to be supporting. Could be US, Australia, UK, Canada. So we ourselves as trainers, we also need to learn all of this. So that gave me my first exposure into a BPO kind of environment, wherein, I had to talk to people from different teams and categories and lifestyles. And it was pretty challenging for me initially, but how did I overcome these challenges is by mingling with them, spending time with them, understanding them as a person. All right. So this is something that I did. And I also noticed that training was slowly becoming my cup of tea. Maybe it was like instilled in me. Maybe it's in my genes. I do not know, because my mom also used to be a teacher. And every day after school, whenever I used to come back, I used to take help from my, house help, drape a sari. I was like about 5 or 6 years old. And I would go and I would teach all my dogs and cats and cars and furniture and all of that, whatever I've learned in school. So I've always had this kind of awe for being with people, talking to people. That is something that is also going to help us in our present work conditions. Because when you're working in a corporate kind of a setup, we also need to understand that we are going to have people and manage people and work with people who come from all of these different backgrounds. People with disability, people without disability, people, who have, I also work with a couple of people who are beautiful people, who have, come from being from an autistic background. And so it is important for us, I think, as a person, as a leader, it is important that we understand people's mentalities. It is important that we understand how people actually function. It is important that we also understand, what is the behavior of people. So that is something that we have to understand as leaders. We cannot manage a team by saying, okay, fine, this is how I am. All right. So if you're going to carry that and go forward and say, hey, this is how I am, I don't tolerate nonsense. To give you an example, all right. As a leader, you're not going to go anywhere, because you have to move ahead. And as you move ahead, you need to take your team along with you. And 100% support should be given to your team members as a manager. That is what my belief is. Um, so this is something that I go by. This is something that I work with my team as well. And whatever knowledge we have, right, as leaders, that particular knowledge also needs to get shared with your team members. That is when you actually help your team members grow. You help your team members kind of understand a different concept or a different approach to things that they will start managing somewhere down the line or in the future. So that is something that is really important. My mantra for success is to ensure that I give my 100%. People say 120, 200%. There is nothing called as that unless there is a value that you want to derive out of it. But as a human being, you can only give your 100%. So my mantra is that for everything that I do, I actually give it my 100%. I do my best. And I just don't do that. But what I also do, and what all of us need to do, is also, once you've done something right, you need to seek feedback. Because for us as individuals, we will only know what we know, correct? But there could be somebody who's got more experience than us, or maybe even lesser experience, but we always need to seek feedback to see if we have actually done the right thing or not. And if we have not done the right thing, I think one thing that, for success is also important is that we also need to be open to feedback. All right. So if we are not open to feedback, then we will be just stuck right where we are. And if you as a leader, or if me as a leader, I'm going to be stuck in one particular place, that means to say that my entire team is stuck where they are, right? So that is something that is important. The third thing is that, we are all human beings. That is another thing that I take forward with myself. I always keep in mind that whoever I am dealing with, whoever I am, all of us are human beings. We are, going to be making mistakes. So with me as a leader, it is okay for my team members. It is okay for people to make mistakes. I have this habit. I do not know whether it is good or bad, but I have this habit of wherein I I actually, kind of correct my team members or the people I'm working with. And then I just don't correct them. I also go ahead and I also guide them and teach them or train them on, how to go about doing it right. I get on calls with my team members. I give them coaching. I give them, briefings on how to go about doing things. So that is also important as a leader. All of these things put together has brought me to where I am. So after I worked with Transworks, I quit them. I joined as a trainer, communication skills and personality development, soft skills trainer, basically. And then when I left Transworks after 3.5 years, I left them as a associate manager training. And I got that growth in just 3.5 years time, which was actually quite surprising, or maybe it's just my goodwill that I did a good job. And after Transworks, I joined a captive center called Aviva, which is into insurance. So I joined Aviva. Later on, it became WNS Global Services. It was acquired by the operations was acquired by WNS Global Services. I worked with WNS Global Services for almost around 10.5 years. And, I joined them as a AM associate manager training. And when I quit WNS Global Services after 10.5 years, I quit only because I was not getting the growth that I needed. All of us need growth in our lives, right? Especially when putting in a lot of work. So WNS was not open to giving promotions very easily. When I say very easily, I'm also talking about, fantastic organization, but it took a long time for me. So when I quit WNS, I actually quit on the levels of a manager. And then I got a very good opportunity to join another organization wherein, Concentrix. I joined them as a manager training and quality. And I worked with them for a couple of years, but unfortunately I had to leave. That's when I was involved in my accident. And then when I recovered from my accident, I joined this company called PhonePe. All right. So it's been a long journey, 25 years altogether, but I have no regrets whatsoever with all the organizations that I worked in, because each one of those organizations have been fantastic and the people have been fantastic. Thanks, Nilesh, for that. Yes, I am actually very good with multitasking because I'm also ambidextrous. I use both my left and right side of my brain. All right. So yeah, I can write with both hands, and yeah, I'm also very creative. My current boss, Ravi, who's a fantastic human being, he keeps telling me that, you're very creative. You're wasting your time doing, unwanted things. You're not looking at the bigger picture. So yes, thanks for that, Nilesh. Yeah. So when talking about creativity, right, I also work in developing content, training material, research, POVs. My team works on all of this as well. And I give them ideas. I give them, how to go about it. And I also do a lot of sketching and painting and crochet. I don't know if you all heard of it. I do a lot of crochet as well. And one of my aims or aspirations in my life is that I always wanted to learn stitching. All right. Because if you look at me, you will realize that I'm on the plus size, and getting plus size clothes is very difficult in India. And, and even if you do get them, then by the time it reaches your doorstep and you try it out, it doesn't. It's either too large or extremely small. And so one of my passions was always to learn stitching. So you will not believe it, but just yesterday I got, my fiance actually gifted me a sewing machine, and I am just waiting for the weekend, so that I can actually try out something, because I've seen so many YouTube videos, I've seen so many Instagram videos, on how people stitch clothes and bags and cushion covers. So yeah, so I do all of this when I'm not working. So yes, I think maybe I'll take some pictures and share it with you guys so that you all can see what I've done, and then you can comment on it. Yeah, but I think life is beautiful. All of us have, the dosa, right? All of you know what a dosa is, right? Yeah, masala dosa. So if you look at the dosa very closely, right, you'll see that dosas have got holes in it. Correct? But it's still it's still an amazing thing to eat, right? It's very tasty, correct? So that's how life is. So that's how, I look at life. I look at life like it's a dosa. And, at the end of the day, it satisfies me. I'm very happy eating it. And especially if you add some more, like, like a butter or ghee or whatever you can add to it, it makes it all the more amazing. Correct. So that's how I look at life, like it is a dosa. And yeah, so plain dosa, masala dosa, however you take it, so that's how you take it. Okay, so that's how life is. And they also say that, dosa doesn't have those holes in it only in my house, right? Everywhere you make a dosa, whether even if it is in a 5-star restaurant or a 7-star hotel, it'll still have the holes. But the taste of the dosa is something that you don't compromise on. So that's how you take life. That's how I've taken my life. All right. Because I've had a lot of ups and downs. I might come from a family who people categorize as, well to do and all of that. But I'm not somebody who has actually taken advantage of it. Because God has given me the ability to walk, talk, see, taste, smell, all of that. So I want to contribute to society because of that. Because when I see around me, I see people who have disabilities, all right? And I want to work with them because God has given me the strength to work with them, right? And so that is something. And I also keep telling the girls in my team, Nivedita and Ghazala, two fantastic women that I have in my team who are taking care of impact sourcing. These are two people who, I think one is my left hand and one is my right hand. Right. And yeah, so I keep telling them as well that, that even they come through impact sourcing, by the way. And so, we have to do a lot for society. Because it's not just about taking, right? Always, we also need to contribute. And so that's where I put in my goals for this particular year, where I'm saying that, I've also spoken to Nivedita Ghazala saying that this year we have to get in this number of people. We already have, by the way, if you guys are inquisitive to know, we already have around 200 people who are in my accounts. All right. So we want to increase that number to another 200, another 250 by the end of this year, which is by December, to make it close to around 500 people by the end of this year. And that's where I'm going to be working very closely with all of you from Maya K Foundation. We will be taking people in from your organization, which is going to be a fantastic thing for us. And it's not just about that. I was also talking to Manjari a couple of days ago, wherein I was telling Manjari that if she does need any help with training, all right. So because I come from a training background, I would love to pitch in for training sessions. And I know that today's call is more on, understanding, what are the challenges that me as a leader has faced. But I'm sure that I'll be able to contribute more to this particular organization through trainings. And Manjari, like I've also promised you, I'm also working on getting the hardware, and that will also help your team. And yes, it's been fantastic. So I think half an hour of my talking is enough for now. Because if there are any questions, I see that people have a lot of comments and questions. If you all have any questions, all right, so please feel free to answer those questions. I'm just opening up the chat box here. Somebody says dosa with gunpowder. Amazing.
Right. Questions, team? Questions, comments?
Yes, ma'am. Nilesh here.
Yes,
First of
Nilesh.
all, it's really amazing to see that in spite of all the other challenges, you have overcome everything, and you're doing so much. So I want to request you first of all that make me 50% of yours, like बहुत हो जाएगा मेरे लिए. ठीक है? Yeah.
For sure.
हाँ.
For sure.
It
For
will
sure.
it will not only help me as a person also, but my organization, my care. So I want to be like that. कि मुझे समझ में आ रहा है like now. I'm 1.5 years old now in my care doing here, and really learn a lot. Like if you haven't have you met me before this time, this duration, आप बोल पाते कि नहीं ये बंदा it's not perfect, ये नहीं कर पाएगा. but I'm given a role here to speak with the corporate world. I'm having a team under me with as ma'am has already explained, the Bindu team. My team comprised with everyone like locomotor, me, Pritam, the visually challenged also, and some intellectual also. And they are we team are doing fantastic work, like dealing every day with the corporate and scheduling meetings and speaking with them everything. बट स्टिल ऐसा कुछ वो भूख है हमें हमेशा कि कुछ और अच्छा होना चाहिए. इट्स लाइक as many times it happens, like in spite of giving everything कुछ रह जाता है. I don't know how something is left, and that वो कैसे feel out, वो gap कैसे feel करे. I want to overcome that thing. इससे आपको मैं देख
Great.
पा रहा हूँ, you are doing like so. इतना आपके थोड़ा सा भी पर्सन में कर लूंगा तो I think हो जाएगा.
I'll tell you, Nilesh, I was in a similar situation as you, all right, when I started off my career. Because I had zero experience, I'm just fresh out of college, zero experience, clueless about what to do. All right. So what I started doing is that I started introspecting my day-to-day activities. So, I started at the end of the day, I would sit and think about how did my day go? Am I satisfied with what I delivered on? And then I would make notes. When I'm saying notes, as in physical notes in a book and a paper, pencil, pen, all of that, make a note of saying that which part of my day, which activity of my day was I not fully satisfied with. And then I would pick that up on a weekend, and then I would do some form of research. All right. So I'm talking about 97. We did not have computers at home. So we had to go to an internet cafe and, do some browsing and, pay, I don't know, some 10 rupees or 20 rupees for every hour. Yeah. So I would do some homework and research on, how to go about doing those things. So that actually helped me kind of bridge the gap of, I still do it sometimes, even though I've got 25 years of experience and, doing totally something different today compared to what I was doing 25 years ago. And that actually helps. All right. And also, if you have an audience, right, maybe in your meetings, could be in training sessions, when you have an audience, if you think that there is somebody that you are comfortable with in that audience, reach out to them. All right. And ask, inputs from them. Hey, so how did this go? Can you give me any ideas how I can improve myself? Or, can you give me ideas as to what I can do more or differently, right? So that actually helps, Nilesh. I'm just giving you some tips.
Correct, ma'am. Actually, many times I am with ma'am in meeting, Mantri ma'am, and I have learned a lot from her. Like, कैसे बोलना होता है, it was like when starting, I used to give a very long kind of introduction of my care, which बहुत सी mistake हो जाती थी, but now I am comfortable with that. Okay, and taking as you are saying from other people apart from ma'am, she always give feedback. और डांट भी खानी पड़ती है. इट्स ओके बट आई एम लर्निंग लॉट फ्रॉम दैट. और इसी वजह से आज आई एम टू स्पीक एबल टू स्पीक विथ यू आल्सो कि बाबा सीख पा रहा हूँ बहुत. लेकिन कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड के साथ क्या होता है मैम, दिस एवरीथिंग इज नाइस. नीलेश यू आर वेरी नाइस. यस नीलेश बहुत अच्छा बताया तूने. ओके एवरीथिंग वी अंडरस्टूड. इवन दे टेल मैम आल्सो that Nilesh gave us everything properly and blah 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 everything. And after that I don't know what happens to them, and they sometimes they just go away like. And बता नहीं पाते.
They don't come back
Yeah,
to you, is
don't
what
come
you're
back.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
For
sugar
people to
coating
come
जैसा
back to
होता है.
you, so people will give you everything that is, sugar coated, mollycoddled, and everything. But those are the kind of people who will not come back. All right. I'm being very candid with you with my experience. So what you need to do with those kind of people is that you go back to them.
I go. I again and again keep them
Yeah,
chasing.
but then they will still say, yeah, we'll come back, we will do that, we will do this and all of that. So maybe Nilesh, what we can do is between you and I, we can spend some time, over a call sometime, either next week or the week after. I will give you some forms of selling tips or for
Would love, ma'am.
corporates.
Would love.
All
Yes.
right. Yeah, because I'm also involved in sales right now, wherein I talk to Google, I talk to, maybe a Microsoft or a Apple, different people across, right? Whoever we want to bring business into Tech Mahindra, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll give you some tips on that.
Yeah, me and my team will be happy to.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I can do an entire training session for you all on selling skills
Great, ma'am.
and negotiation, objection handling skills.
Right. Thank you.
Great, Sonia. That will be excellent. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Let me utilize my skill sets. I can do that. Yes.
Great. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, somebody will have to just tell me what Pritam has written.
प्रीतम आप बोल सकते हो, हिंदी में बोलो. She understands Hindi. So
I can understand, yes, but when I read like this, I'll not be able to put together. Sorry about that, Pritam.
मैम अभी आपके सेशन से मेरे को बहुत हुआ, क्योंकि कभी-कभी मैं सोचता हूँ मेरे से कुछ नहीं होगा, क्योंकि मेरा विजिबिलिटी ऐसा है. मैं मेरा एजुकेशन भी पूरा नहीं हुआ था. मैं इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ रहा था तब मेरा एक्सीडेंट हो गया था, तो पढ़ाई भी पूरा नहीं हुआ. तो तब उसके बाद मैं सोचा था मेरा कुछ नहीं होगा, मैं कुछ नहीं कर पाऊंगा. मैं मम्मी पापा ही मेरा मानी का जो पैसा आना था वो मम्मी पापा ही देंगे. तो अभी माया केयर में आने के बाद मैं कुछ बहुत कुछ सीख रहा हूँ, और अभी मैं CSR में भी काम करता हूँ, और मैक्सिमम में मुझे अभी प्लेसमेंट का भी हेड बनाया है. और आज का सेशन बहुत अच्छा था. थैंक यू.
Thank you, Pritam.
मैम प्रीतम इज इन माय टीम. उसको पता है, उसको सब पता है, लेकिन ही इज नॉट कॉन्फिडेंट, गेटिंग कॉन्फिडेंस ऑफ स्पीकिंग.
हाँ वही.
उसको मुझे वो ग्रो करना है. यस मैम, एंड प्लीज हेल्प मी.
Yeah. Will do. I think, you know what, Nilesh, Manjari, what we can do is every month, right? You can, you know, connect with Ghazala and Nivedita. I will give them a list of training sessions that I can actually conduct. And, you know, maybe every month for an hour, we can do one topic every month.
Okay.
Great. That will be great. Madhuri is there on the call, so Madhuri will connect with you, Sonia Ghazala.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Madhuri can connect with the, yes.
So Madhuri will set up the calendar, and Anupama, you saw Anupama is here. She's hearing impaired, but she's the person who actually is most methodical. You know, so she will set up everything. She'll make the poster. She does, you know, I mean, within seconds. If I tell her something, within seconds it gets done. So she'll make sure it happens every month, and we'll have a calendar. Yes.
Amazing. Thank you, Anupama.
Yes, and
hello, ma'am.
With Pritam and Nilesh, I'll tell you, both of them, they have the biggest change they've made for themselves is the attitude change. From where they
Very
started.
important.
Yes, that has changed everything for them.
That's
so
very
it's
important.
not just
Amazing.
about and focus. Both of them, right? Pritam, Nilesh, both. जब से focus आया, सब कुछ change हो गया ना?
Yes, ma'am.
Good, very good.
Very good.
So have one word here, please.
Yeah, Nivedita.
Sonia, I was just thinking what they're saying and how you are, approaching. I was thinking if we can have an interactive session between our trainees and people from Maya Care, so there is a lot they can teach each other. Sometimes you are in a position wherein they look up to you, but there are some people, that they are aligned in one line. All right. So what I feel is that there can be a more inflow of ideas and how they are coping up at the moment. All right. So Sham and Preeti and people who are present here, Rafika, everybody here in our team are excellent people. Not because Ghazala and me, we are especially attached to them, but actually we have seen them as people who are extremely motivated. So when doing that, one thing I really like from my incubation training here, I'd like to put across what we have taught. I don't know, like how much we have reached there. I don't know, but what we have done is they, in their own line, that we have inspired them to do things on their own, so they can meet each other. Maybe a monthly basis, because they will also be aligned to the process. I don't know the timing and all that. We can plan that, Sonia, so that they each other, they can motivate each other, they can inspire each other.
Yeah. Before we start doing that as well, Nivedita, the first thing that I would like to do is for us, see if you can actually travel to Hyderabad, you and Ghazala, and for us to go and meet the Maya Care team that's in Hyderabad. All right. So that's the first thing that I would like to do sometime next month. And I would love to meet with whoever is there. Manjari, unfortunately, I'm based in Hyderabad. If whoever is there in Hyderabad, I would love to meet them. And while I'm there, also, I would love to, kind of, give some form of training. If you think that anything is on your mind, do let me know. But then I can do like a face-to-face session as.
Sonia, about Hyderabad, see, we don't have so many people in Hyderabad itself.
Oh, you
We
let
have
me know where is your largest
We have them
base?
in around. We have a lot of Telugu speaking people. In fact, yesterday we had a long call with the Telugu speaking people, and I can't speak Telugu. That is a big problem, and they can't speak Hindi or English. That is our biggest problem with the people we have in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. But what we'll do is that I am going to be in Hyderabad, as I told you, in August. So
Awesome.
I'll just connect with you separately, and we'll have, of course, I mean, meeting and other things, and we'll look at who else can join us at your office, and
Absolutely. Sure.
we'll see that and
Sure. I can
see the
organize that for a connect.
yeah. So we'll just connect separately, and I already know my dates for Hyderabad in August, so I'll tell you.
Sure.
Where the team's location is concerned, there are a lot of people in Mumbai. Some are in Pune. Nilesh are in Pune, but the rest are just everywhere. So Sunitha is in Sangli, then Abhijit is in Sangli, then I think Ambala, Kanu is in Ambala, Ranjana is in Orissa. They're everywhere. A lot of people are in Kolkata. So that's which is the reason why we're able to work, because we only work remotely.
Because you're like all around, right? All.
Yes, they're around, and
very
that's why we
important.
serve the country as well across. But and of course they are very excited. They always want to meet us, my husband and me, Abhay and me, and they have made all kinds of plans of coming to meet us last time, which we have shot down because we don't want them to travel so much for 3 days and all of that. And we don't have the budgets either, because if they are able to travel, then we would like to cover the cost of their travel properly and their stay and everything, which we don't have right now. But we are hoping that in the coming year or next year, we will have some kind of face-to-face training program where we will be able to accommodate all of them.
Absolutely.
We would really love that. So we can talk about that also separately.
For sure. Anyways, I'm planning on my travels very soon for this year. So I'll be going to Bangalore. I'll be going to Pune. I'll be going to Noida. All right. So when I'm Pune, I'll let you guys know. We can always catch up in Pune for whoever is in Pune. And if you have anybody who's close to Noida or in Noida, we can meet up there as well.
And whenever you will be in Pune, we will definitely meet.
For sure. Yeah.
I will come there wherever you say, or you are come to my house. Anything.
For sure. Thank you so much, Nilesh. Yeah.
So any other question?
How to grow in confidence? Okay, that. Yes.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, I have too much pain in my body because I am a paraplegia. So how can you motivate me to do good work of my care foundation?
Very good question. I think all the good work is already started, is what I want to tell you. And what you also need to do, or what you also can do, is make a list of things that you would want to do. All right. So for Maya Care, and take that list across to your entire team and get ideas and plan on how you can actually convert it from black and white into reality. And so that will actually help you. And if you need any more further suggestions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always there to help and guide you guys. And think of it like that this is something that I would love to do as a volunteer for Maya Care. All right. So yeah.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
Hello, I am Saikat. Ma'am, I have some question. Like, I have issue of anger management. So how can I overcome with this? It's very affected in my work also, and some brother and elder brothers also. They will do give me some works, and sometimes it's problematic when I used to anger for some little bit things. So there is something problem. So how can I overcome it?
So Saikat, let me tell you my own experience here. Like I kept telling you all earlier, right? That as a teenager and then moving into my 20s, I used to be somebody who's very, very short-tempered. All right. So that means to say it doesn't even have to be something that it could be something good as well, and I would still get angry sometimes, or get upset sometimes, or get frustrated sometimes. So what I started doing as a person is that I started, first of all, listening to what the other person is actually saying. All right. So what we tend to do, when we have these short tempers is that we face the other individual with a preconceived notion, saying that, oh, he's going to say this, or oh, she's going to say this, or oh, he's going to ask me to do this, or she's going to ask me to do this. All right. So we go with that preconceived notion, which is already there in our head. So the first thing that we need to do is that we need to listen. All right. Let the other person complete what he or she has to say. And then you don't have to respond immediately. You tell them, oh, fine, let me think about this and come back to you.
Yeah, that's why.
All right. So
when some person say something about myself, or this is, I have to reply them and that moment, at that moment. So that is the main issue.
yeah, so see, if you are getting angry because you have to give a response immediately, then that issue has to be tackled with the what I mentioned to you just now. All right.
Yeah.
It's not necessary. You can, if somebody is going to tell me saying that, okay, fine, I'll think about it and give me like a minute or two, let me come back to you on that.
Yeah.
All right. So and nobody is going to say no to that. That means to say that you're not saying no immediately. You are saying that, okay, fine, I've heard you out. And now I will come back to you in another minute or two. And that minute or two is where you spend time with yourself. You understand what the other person has said or asked for. And then you go with a calm and composed mind and reply.
Okay, ma'am. And your story is such an inspiring thing for me. And
thank you so much, Saikat. Any other questions that we have?
Any other question, team? Hindi, Marathi में भी पूछ सकते हो. We can translate. हिंदी मराठी में पूछो. या कमेंट भी करना है, मैम को कुछ बोलना है तो बोल दो.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hi, good afternoon.
I am from Nivedita and Ghazal ma'am team.
Yes, tell me.
Myself, Ramesh, ma'am. I'm heard your story. That's awesome, ma'am. You are facing a lot of problems and overcome them, and finally achieve the good position in our company and life also. I pray
Thank
to
you so
God
much.
one thing. God, I'm not asking gold or money or anything. I'm asking only one thing. Oh, facing capability. Give me facing capability.
Which we will give you. God will give for sure, but I will train you to get it. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, great. Jyoti, Abhijit, you don't want to say anything? At least
I
tell
think Arijit has raised his hand.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. मैम थोड़ा सा ये पर्सनल क्वेश्चन है, फिर भी पूछ रहा हूँ. मेरा 20 साल गुजरा नॉर्मल लाइफ. आफ्टर देन मेरा सर्जरी हुआ, बिलो चेस्ट सेंसेशन गायब हो गया. अभी मेरा उम्र 32 ऐसा है, तो 12 साल हो गया. इसमें मुझे कुछ दुख नहीं है, लेकिन दिन में एक टाइम लगता है कि ऐसा क्यों हुआ, या फिर जो एक मन में दुख तो रहता है कि वो लाइफ अलग था, ये लाइफ अलग है. तो इसमें उस टाइम पे एडजस्ट करना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है. तो इसको मैनेज कैसे करें?
See, Arijit, I think, all of us have been in the situation wherein, we have some form of self-pity at any point of time. All right. And especially it becomes on the larger scale if you're actually physically going through some kind of, trauma or pain or disability or discomfort, right? So it is nothing but human tendency for us to feel that. And this human tendency is something that comes to us naturally as human beings. It is our tendency to feel sad for us at times. It's not just, I'm not only talking about in your situation, but say, for example, that even at work, right? If there is something that doesn't go right, we always think, what am I doing here? How can I change this job? Or, how can I change things in my life? Right? So it is okay to go through that, but don't let that rule you. All right. So when you come to these kind of situations of wherein you're feeling like this, pick up a book, start reading it, listen to some music. All right. Or maybe just go near your balcony, go near your window, look outside and see what's happening in the world. All right. So that you need to divert your thoughts. And that's how, because even when I was completely, immobile, right? I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even move my finger. I couldn't even, my right leg was not working. My right hand was not working, the entire right side of my body. I used to actually kind of drag myself, yeah. All right. Like literally like drag myself on the floor to get to a window or to a balcony and then just sit there for some time. And I never let these negative thoughts come into my mind saying that, oh, this is what has happened for the rest of my life. I'm going to be like this. No, I made it a point to live it through and to ensure that I have the confidence and think positive at all times, saying that I will overcome this. And that's how I am today. Of course, I can move, I can walk, I can sit, I can talk, I can move my hand to maybe like I can lift my hand sideways to maybe about 45 degrees. That's it. But then if it is to go anything above 45, I actually have to kind of, kind of lift my hand like this. And if I want to wash my hair also, I take my hand and keep it on my head like this and then wash my hair. All right. So that's how life is, Arijit. All right. And we need to take it with a pinch of salt. Don't get too demotivated. Don't get too, kind of frazzled about it. It's all human tendency to feel that sadness, which we have to feel. If we don't feel sadness, that means there's something wrong with us, right? But don't let that rule you. Okay. Pick up a book and start reading, listen to some music, talk to somebody in your house. If you don't have anybody, I'll give you my number. You call me and talk to me. But don't feel sad.
अरिजीत जी मैम ने जैसे बोला ना बालकनी में जाना, बालकनी में जाना लेकिन कूदने की बस सोचना, ठीक है, बालकनी तक रहना। ठीक है। हाँ,
मैं मेरी जिंदगी से बहुत प्यार करता हूँ।
गुड, जिंदगी से प्यार करना बहुत 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 इम्पोर्टेंट है। ऑल ऑफ यू लुक, मैं 99% ऑफ द टाइम मैं इनको डांट रही हूँ, ओके, 99% दैट इज माय रोल इन देयर लाइफ, दैट क्योंकि उनको डांटने वाला कोई है नहीं। There is nobody else in the world who is actually caring enough to get into what they should be or what they can be. Even their parents
Absolutely.
are not, their parents are also not scolding them. Only I am there to scold them. So today I will tell you this, there is immense pride for me that you are where you are. Okay, so Arijit, Abhijit, everyone, I know all of your stories. Okay, एक मिनट भी ऐसा सोचना नहीं है कि ऐसा क्यों हो. Okay, I know I can't be, I can't think like, even Sonia has gone through a lot of things which you have gone through. I have not gone through. I don't know. I will never be able to know what you have gone through. But that much I can tell you, every minute you spend like this, you're taking it away from your own life. Okay, few days ago, Abhijit is there on the call. Abhijit put up something on Facebook, something about his accident 8 years ago and old pictures and whatever else, how it changed his life. I have told him, I've guaranteed to him, 5 years later, he is going to put up that, his accident is the best thing that ever happened to him. Because every day, there are going to be new pictures of how Abhijit has grown in Maya Care, what he is doing. He's handling 16 cities right now. Arijit, same with you and more. All of you are going to win awards. Things are going to happen, which would have never happened to you if this was not the case. Okay, so and only thing you need to do is move forward. Do not even a minute. सोनिया का टाइम भी वेस्ट मत करो सोनिया को फोन करके, किसी को भी फोन मत करो, काम करो और इतना अच्छा काम करो कि हमें लगना चाहिए अरे इसको इंक्रीमेंट क्यों नहीं दिया हमने अभी तक. We should feel bad, अरे why we are not able to pay you as much. We already feel bad. Okay, so I'm going to stop here, end here. Let's take a picture and then I will exit because Sandhya and I have to go into that client call. And then there is a very nice question from Anupama. If you can type out the answer, Sonia, it will be nicer for her, easier for her to understand. Before that, everyone switch on your video, please. So we'll take a quick picture for LinkedIn and Facebook with Sonia, with Nivedita, with everyone. Everyone, please switch on your video quickly. Everyone, please quickly. Preeti, yes. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Smile. Sonia, smile for us so we can all have a laughing, nice picture. One more, last one. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Sonia. I will need to exit, but please carry on with the session. And beautiful, whole of the TechM team, thank you for joining us. I always say this, that, people say who has paid for Mayake for 11 years? And I say it's my husband's salary and my salary, but my husband was working with TechM, so TechM has paid for it. So, okay, so that's the way. Right? Okay, I'm going to exit then.
Thanks, Vanjali. I'll connect with you offline.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye-bye.
Anupama, I see that you have a question. Let me just answer that. How to overcome frustrations we have, something less with a disability. Is Anupama on the call?
Yes, ma'am, she's there.
Okay, all right. The answer is very simple. We do not, even though I am also in the same category, Anupama, I think what we need to do is we do not look at it as a disability. All right. So we are actually we need to look at it like, it's a uniqueness that we have, all right, which nobody else has got. Okay. So don't get frustrated at anything. Anyways, you and I will keep talking. You can always email me. And if there is anything that is needed from my end, like I said, Nivedita Ghazala, I'll share that list of training sessions. All right. So one session every month with Mayake.
Hi, Sonia.
Hi.
Am I audible?
I hope. Yes, I can hear you, but you need to just mention your name because I can see you.
Rafika.
Hi, Rafika. So Rafika is part of my team, Mayake team. She is part of my team. She is from a visually impaired background.
Actually, Sonia, your story was quite inspiring, and I think one and all here are having such these stories who can inspire others also. And I felt some people were talking how we can overcome. We are already trying to overcome, and I think that is the best thing we are doing.
Absolutely.
And the other thing is, I really want to thank to you. Like, this initiative of impact sourcing is such a thing, it is going to really bring change to our lives of so many, I think, because who have lost hope on themselves or like this, I definitely think that this is going to change and bring a lot of positive change in them.
Thanks for that, Rafika.
Yeah. And one more thing, I think about Telugu, somebody was asking. So in our group now, there are so many Telugu people. Anytime you can approach us for Telugu, we can come and we can really communicate. We can translate it.
Yeah. We actually have a lot of Telugu speaking people in the impact sourcing teams, Nilesh, Kanu. All right. If you need any help with transcriptions, you need any help with translations, things like that, please reach out. We can help you guys.
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, we need yeah.
Ma'am, can you just one small thing? Can you just tell us like whom should I contact at first for any such thing, because we might not be able
anything to and everything. You can go to Nivedita and Ghazala. All right. Oh. Like I told you, they are my left hand and right hand, and the rest of the team is in between the left and the right hand, which is my heart. All right. And so you can contact Nivedita Ghazala for everything and anything. The only reason I'm saying this, Kanu, is also because, my calendar is completely blocked. All right. So I need to make time, and I'll be like Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why
You can contact both of them at any given point of time.
Sure. That's why I actually asked this question so that we don't
Yeah.
keep on
Feel free
bothering
to
you.
connect with them. Yes.
Sure, ma'am. Okay.
Currently, I'm typing the number here in the chat box.
Sure. Sure. Rafika, ma'am, is that you?
Yeah,
No,
Rafika.
you can call me ma'am. You can call me Rafika, that's fine.
Sure.
You can call her Rafika. You can call me Sonia. You don't have to call me ma'am.
Yeah, that would be fine.
Great. Wonderful. Anything else? Anyone else? Any other questions? Any suggestions? And always keep smiling, huh? That's the best thing that we can do. Yeah. Whatever the situation be,
that's what I
you
want.
just
I love your
smile.
smile. It's so energetic and give us so positive vibes.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.
And it's a great initiative to collaborate with them also, because we can relate their situation.
Yes. So Nilesh, what we need to start doing is that this team at my end and your team, we need to connect maybe like once in a month or something like that, just to talk. All right, just to talk. That's it. And we can discuss. If people have something that they want to discuss, we can always discuss.
Correct, man. Definitely.
Exactly, because there's a lot of change we have after 5 months when we are in tech game with Nivedita and Gazala, just because of them and because of our beautiful hair.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
Even I want to share one thing, ma'am.
Yeah.
Recently only I got. I also conduct tuitions also.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, so I met one boy. He's from UP, and he said my cousin also wants to come to you for learning. I said okay. That boy came and I said, in which class you are? He said that I would be in 7th class if I would have continued the studies. I said, why didn't you then continue? So he said, because of my family issues and all everything, I'm not able to. So I said, okay, then what is the further planning? So he said, I want to get admission. And currently, again, yesterday I talked with him. He said, my family condition is 2 weeks, sir. And my father is saying that no need of studying, but I want to study. And, so how can I do? I said, don't worry. Let's handle something. You just come to me. I'm not going to charge anything from you because you want to study. I'm going to teach you. Okay. And even I'm talking to the school nearby. There is, you want to study in English medium. I said, let's start with first Hindi medium because it will be sudden, jerk. So let's
Correct.
do one thing till 7th, 8th, 9th. You study and I will, side by side, I will keep you guiding in English also, whatever I can. And then we can see in 9th and 10th what we can do. But let's study this. So this thing means मुझे तो ऐसा लगता है कि अगर मैं कुछ नहीं कर पाता तो एटलीस्ट मेरे से एक लाइफ भी सुधर जाएगी ना, that will be, I will be happy. So I'm going
You're
to
already touching a lot of lives, by the way,
yeah.
Nilesh. All right. So I think what each one of you is doing is fantastic. All right. That goes without saying. It's like fantastic. And, through my personal experience as well, I do a lot of charity work. Okay. People keep asking, where does your money go? Where does your money go every month when I get my salary? Right? But I'm not somebody who actually speaks about it out in the open. But, within myself, it's something that gives me accomplishment of doing charity kind of work. And I do go to a couple of schools during of course now of late I've not been doing it, but previously I used to go to schools on weekends, and students and teachers used to come and I used to teach them basics of MS Office, English, all right, grammar, all right, even and then schools, all of these schools started getting introduced to computers, right? So people were getting their own email IDs and Outlook, and they did not know how to draft emails. So I used to teach all of this on weekends. So it's a very interesting. So I think sharing knowledge And educating somebody is like the biggest blessing that you can give anybody, because they will take that forward in their lives
Actually,
and build on their
Wow.
lives on that.
Wow.
actually,
Wow. Wow,
it means
ma'am.
when I saw, means he is willing to actually study. That's why I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
like let's कुछ help कर दिए जाए, करनी चाहिए actually. I'm going to do this.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Very true. And the funny thing is that, a lot of people actually call me Mother Teresa. I am not at her level at all. But it's the smallest of things that you do with your heart, right? And from your heart that actually matter.
Correct.
You should not do, like I see some Instagram videos and all where we have the celebrities holding a loaf of bread and going and giving it to somebody on the road. If you actually wanted to do that, why do you want to do a video?
Exactly.
Right? It's as simple as that.
Ma'am,
Great.
can I share one thing?
Yeah, sure.
Some hobbies out of the box. I'm also having some like that.
She's
Oh,
also
wow.
multitasking,
Nice.
ma'am.
Yeah.
She's also multitasking. She's my virtual sister. राखी
Ah,
भेजी नहीं अब तक, अभी भेजने वाली है इस रक्षाबंधन में.
what are the hobbies that you have?
I do make handcraft products, handmade handcrafted products.
You should connect with Nivedita.
Sure.
Don't ask me
Sure.
why now. She will show you what she's done. And yeah, Nivedita.
Sure, Sonia. I love to I enjoy making things with my hands also.
Yes.
So let's connect on that. I've given you my number, so let's connect. Yeah.
Sure.
Amazing. Amazing.
Oh, ma'am, excellent. Ma'am, I'm Nanda Samdi. I conduct a tuition class, but ma'am, you are struggling of life, your hard work, confidence, and you are living, and I thinking has very very inspired us for my future of future ahead.
Yeah, you should be. I always tell people, because everybody has, like I said, the dosa, right? Think of the dosa story. It's as simple as that. Yeah. I live in Kanu. I live in Hyderabad. Where do I live in Hyderabad? I am not sure of if you know. I live in this place called Manikonda. It's somewhere next to High-Tech City, IKEA.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
My sister and brother are there in Tusapet.
I'm not too familiar with names. The only places I know in Hyderabad is High-Tech City because I have my Tech M office over there and I have IKEA. And then I know Madhapur because of Inorbit Mall. And then I know Badurpalli because of my Tech M office. And I also have a flat over there, which I stay in when I go to office. So these are the only places I know in Hyderabad.
Okay, ma'am.
And I know Swiggy because I know I order a lot of food on Swiggy. I'm not from here, right? So I'm still, it's been, of course, it's almost 3 years though, since I'm in Hyderabad. But for the last 2 years, it's been pandemic situation and working from home, right? So, and the rest of the, I think, 8 months that I worked out of home in the office was just Badurpalli and my house. That's about it. But if you are in Hyderabad, let me know.
So when are you coming here in Delhi?
Delhi, I'll be coming, I think, sometime in August. Not Delhi exactly, but I'll be in Noida, sometime in August. Okay. But I'm thinking towards the 2nd or 3rd week of July is to Pune.
Okay.
July, 2nd, 3rd week. Yeah. Hello?
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, that's the plan as of now. But I'll let you guys know much ahead before I travel.
Then we will meet for sure.
Sure. Yeah. All right, then. It was wonderful connecting with all of you. Amazing people. Always keep this in mind that, anything that you need from my end, do not hesitate to reach out. All right. And I'll be more than glad to pitch in and help out. And I'm looking forward to meeting you guys as well face to face. And and working with all of you. Thank you so much for all and everything that you guys have been doing from Maya. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
And
you, ma'am.
yeah, ma'am, for for the session, as you said that every month we can have. So we will be connecting with Nivedita ma'am and
Ghazala and Nivedita, what I
Ghazala ma'am.
will do is,
Yes,
I will give a list of trainings that I can conduct, and I will
correct.
also give them the date and the time.
Correct. Yes.
And according to that, they will share that with you guys, and you all can block my calendar for that.
Correct. Yes. Great, ma'am.
Awesome.
Okay.
I think so. I think all of you done a fantastic job here. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So much, ma'am.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Bye, madam.
Bye-bye, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Sonia. Everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.